Okay, here we go. This situation right here. This lady is telling a story about her husband that she's been married to for 10 years and her daughter from a prior relationship, and how he basically does not want to adopt this child. I am absolutely, excuse me, speechless for several reasons. One, who in the world stays married to somebody for 10 years and then later on comes on and say they don't want to, that they don't want to adopt a child that they've been in their life for that amount of time. The young lady from the story she was telling is 16 years old. So she's old enough to know. And I feel like as a parent, it's our job to protect our children, right? She could have done a better job at vetting this man before she got in a relationship with him, because I don't believe, from my experience of being married and being that I came into a relationship with a child, I told my husband up front, this is what it is, this is what I have, this is what's going on. And he knew what he was walking into, and needless to say, he does not treat my son any differently. He treats my son just like he's his own flesh and blood, right? So my thing is, why in the world would you sit here and do that to a child when they're of age to understand? First off, I think that both parties involved is wrong. I think the mother should have done a better job at making sure that she vetted this man. But then again, we gotta take it a step back. Was he lying to her? Let you take a breath on that. Was he lying to her? Do I think he was lying to her? At this point, I don't know. I hope this story is fake, because you had a lot of people saying to divorce him. A lot of people saying he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to accept her. He doesn't have to adopt her. But it's like, to me, I'm like, these people that are saying this, I hope, number one, which I think, there are people who are not married and there are people who do not have kids. So the people who are not married and don't have kids, you need to sit this one out, because you don't have a horse in the race. To those of us who are married and have children, you have to understand that that's going to be something that's hurtful. And that's why I was saying some things don't need to be talked about on social media unless it's talked about from a healthy standpoint. This right here is a serious marriage crisis. You know, I don't know how I would respond to that, but then again, I know how I am. If I see somebody that don't want nothing to do with my child or whatever, then I would just do, throw up, chuck up the deuce to them and God bless you and move on, in the early stages. But it's too late in the game now for this man to say that. So I don't really care what nobody got to say. Bottom line, yes, the mom should have vetted him better, but we don't know what he was saying to her. But he's flat out wrong. If he don't want to adopt a child, fine. That's something that should have been said early. This is part one. I'm coming back with a part two. Bye.